I feel like, I'm a lot happier in myself as a person, having this little person around us all the time. And even though it's tiring, when you don't get much sleep and you've got to go to work and you feel a bit like a zombie sometimes, it's been really nice. Life is just a lot better. So, on the whole, it was a really amazing, positive experience. I was able to do it here in our home with the midwife that we had been seeing week in, week out. And then a second midwife came to support her towards the end. I ran the bath for her, and she ended up getting in the bath, and she was in the bath from 4:30 till I think it was around 7:30. So a considerable amount of time. Within that time frame, a lot of things happened. The contractions actually sort of started getting a lot more frequent and regular, to the point where we're like, we probably should get our midwife here, or at least let her know. So Chloe texted the midwife at 6 a.m. Around 7:30, after having some raisin toast in the bath and maybe a cup of tea, and just spending time both sitting there. Chloe was breathing through these contractions and listening to these tracks that she had been that she'd prepared for over the past couple of months. So it wasn't until 10:30 that the midwife came. I think I was trying to message her for about half an hour because Chloe kept on telling me to say different things to her. And in the end, I was just like, no, I'm just going to type a message. And I just pretty much told her, I was just like, can you please come? And she was like, yeah, no worries. I'll be there in 20 minutes. And she rocked up at around 10:30. And it was really interesting because Chloe's contractions, we were managing it quite well, and they were progressing. It was really regular and frequent, and I think that we were doing quite a few different things together, just trying to line out what did work and then we'll just go with that if some things didn't work and we didn't do that. But we started using heat packs. Like we had these little clicky instant heat packs where where it's got a little disc in it, and you click it, and it fills up with warmth, and it goes a bit stiff, like some chemical reaction, and then you boil it to reset it. In boiling water for 15 minutes. But yeah, so we had 4 of those, and I kept pushing those into Chloe's lower back, and that pressure on the lower back and things like that was working really well for us. But then when the midwife came, it seemed like everything sort of went back like 4 hours to how Chloe's labour was 4 hours ago. So I think that she was actually in active labour before the midwife rocked up, and then the midwife came through the door, and I think that it was just like a changing in our setting here, and having someone inside the house who we knew quite well, but it was amazing to see how that could just like sort of push everything back. And I was just like, wow, what's happened? Chloe was working through these contractions on a regular basis, and now she's just sort of laying there, and they're really irregular and infrequent again. We then sort of relied on the midwife a little bit to give us a bit of guidance with different positions, and she recommended, she was like, why don't you go to the bathroom at one stage? We got Chloe into the birthing pool, and it was really nice for her because just floating in the pool takes a lot of pressure off, helps with any pain. I got some tea towels for her to put on her neck because it was quite warm in the pool, and also just to help. We were doing things like the midwife and I got a some like a cup maybe, and we're just scooping the water up and slowly pouring it out for the the auditory sound of water trickling and things like that, just for a bit of distraction and also for feeling making Chloe feel comfortable, I guess, as comfortable as you can be when you're in active labour. But yeah, so I mean, we're doing things like that, and then Chloe would go from sitting down in the pool to standing up and holding on to me and sort of holding onto my shoulders. And a couple of times, I really had to pull myself back, because when she was having a really intense surge, she would almost pull me into the pool a few times. And yeah, so we sort of went back and forth from that for the next sort of, I don't know, 40 minutes or so, and then Chloe was just like, saying, then the midwife said, okay, maybe do you want to go back into the bathroom and get back over the toilet again? So Chloe was just like, yeah, okay, agreed to do that. So we helped her back into the bathroom, and she was on the bathroom floor holding onto the towel rail. I actually thought Jack was going to be born in the bathroom at this stage, because his head had sort of progressed through her pelvis, and it was sort of like it was sort of coming, and you could sort of, it wasn't out yet, but you could see that everything was bulging at the back, her lower back, her upper bottom. She had this big bulge, and I think that's just the head pushing on everything, and as it was coming out. So I mean, it was really close, but I mean, this took ages. This process, like this stage, I guess, of birth took a long time. So we went through different positions in the bathroom, and Chloe was starting to get quite tired by then. And then, it was amazing. His head was out, and it sort of just like, slowly turned like this around. And then, Chloe was just like, what should I do? And the midwives were like, oh, just push when you feel the need to. And then she was like, oh, should I push now? And then one of the midwives just felt Chloe's tummy, and she was like, oh yeah, that's a contraction. Just push. And then she just sort of pushed, and Jack sort of just shot out of her like a missile almost. Like there was no issues with his shoulders and getting his body out. And I just went straight. I had my arms ready, and I just fought him. And then I just brought him up and handed him straight to Chloe. He was really big, bigger than I thought he would be. I think he weighed 4.07 kilograms. So, decent size, weight, 52 centimeters long, and he had a 35 centimeter head circumference. And I was just like, yeah, I was just like, really excited. So I hopped in the bath, really excited. We were just, Chloe was holding Jack, I was holding Chloe. Just both, amazed at what had just happened. I think it took a while for her to deliver the placenta, because she didn't want to have any Syntocin injection to help with that. So we just waited for that to happen naturally, and the midwife helped her deliver the placenta.
I definitely got a bit of like crisis of confidence at the end, and I was like, I've got to get this baby out, otherwise the stress of not knowing if he's going to be okay was a bit much. But I think just trusting that and working on developing that trust for myself and both of us, that it will be okay, and that it's just a process and it just has to happen, and it doesn't have to go fast. And he's, he came out perfectly fine. So I said to Charlie, I don't know what I'm going to need, but how about we just both take each contraction as it comes, and we'll work through it. And if it doesn't work, I'll tell you, and you don't be offended by that, and I won't get offended if you're doing something that I don't like. And I think we had that understanding at the start. I don't think there was any point where I felt like I wasn't getting what I needed. Charlie was very attentive, very I think at one point he said, is this working? And I said, don't ask me that again. I'll just tell you if it's not. he came out with this shirt on, which is a really lovely breathable hiking shirt, and I touched it to hold on to him for a contraction, and as soon as I touched it I was like, get that off, it feels horrible. Make sure you keep up the communication, because there's like so much emotion at that start, and you just are both cranky and you're both at your wits' ends. And I think it's probably hard for everyone, but I think we found it pretty hard. There was so many emotions, there was so many lack of sleep, there was so many new things we were learning, and we were both just like, you know, we have to keep talking and we have to keep working through this, because it's not going to be like this forever. Every day it's still good to check in with each other, and some days I'm just like, I can't take Jack, just hold him for me, I'm just tired. And I remember about maybe Jack was 2 weeks old, and it was about 8 o'clock at night, and I remember saying to Charlie, I don't want to do that again. I don't want to go into the night and feed him all night. I just don't want to do it. But since then, it's been good. Just having to, like, I don't know, just get on with it. It's not easy, but it's not that hard either. And it's just, I mean, he's a pretty good baby. Yeah, no, it's really nice. And we're very lucky, aren't we, Jack?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
This concludes Connected Dads, Connected Communities. Thank you for watching. I hope we've helped you understand how to navigate the perinatal journey and protect your own well-being, so you're better equipped to support those you love.
Get involved. You can make a huge difference and really be part of the journey to birth, birthing and beyond.
From all of us at the Fathering Project, good luck with your fathering journey, and our sincere thanks to the Sutherland Shire Council for supporting new dads in their community.